meeting to order. Thursday, February 27th. All three selectmen are present. Town administrator is present. Recording secretary is present. Mr. Lee Martell is recording for the citizens of Dunbarton. Thank you, Lee. All right, old business, gentlemen. We have some minutes from last week. They were amended.
Okay, a motion to approve the regular minutes of February 20th, 2020, as amended.
I'll second both motion.
Any discussion, gentlemen?
Nope.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good job, Jennifer.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly open it up for public comment. I'll start with you. Back row first. Anything public comment? Public comment? Back row, public comment. Third row.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna close public comment. Go up to you for signature.
You in a hurry?
Yeah, you're in a hurry?
Somebody rushing.
Well, the thing is, for the last two meetings, I was basically put a challenge. How fast can I get out of here? And so the thing is, my two compadres basically challenged me every week. Mike, make it fast, I wanna go home. I gotta beat my wife home in this one. This one says I gotta go feed the fire.
No, that's all we said you talk too much.
What can I say? Okay, I'm gonna close public comment, bring it back to the board.
1 second, please.
Okay. And tell me when you're ready.
If you want to get that paperwork, you can just go get it.
Yeah, I need that extra paperwork down in your office.
What extra paperwork?
The sheet I told you about. Just go to your office and get those personnel paperwork.
All right, I think we're good, we're good.
We're good?
Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, I'd just like to move on with this part of the meeting. And this is where we're gonna do the dedication of our town report. And I'd like to start off, the gentleman who we're dedicating this town report has been one of my many mentors in addressing many town issues. And I have great respect for him. This gentleman came to live in Dunbarton, and he still lives at the same plot of land he bought in 1978. He built his property there. As he settled in Dunbarton, he was joined by Nancy, a great partner of his. Now, Ken has two children. He's got basically Kenneth L. and Penny Hope, and three grandchildren, Mary Ellen, William, and Simone. So he's got a nice family. Now, let's give you a little story. I already said the name Ken, so he knows what's going on now.
You lied to me, told me you were doing something with Boddick tonight.
I
It's an
certainly did.
intervention, yeah.
Okay.
Kenny lies to us too.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about this gentleman, Ken. He graduated from the New Jersey Institute of Technology with a degree in mechanical engineering. That's his problem right there, engineering. Okay, and I think it's, through his lifetime, he's owned a variety of things. He led a printing company when he was in college. He had a partial interest in a construction company. He's got enough tools on his yard, and he ran an excavation company. And he holds numerous state licenses from electrician to septic system designer. So I would call him a jack of all trades. Now, on a personal note, he's especially fond of his black Labrador retrievers. He's always telling stories about them and bragging about them. And I think the latest black retriever is Lila, okay. Now, this is something I found out about him. He likes to go to New York. And I always say, when do you go to Syracuse? And he's always correcting me. He doesn't go to Syracuse. He goes there to the mountains of New York. And after I found out about it, he not only goes to the mountains, but he's climbed all 46 mountains that are over 4,000 feet in New York. So he's called an Adirondack 46er, 46 mountains, excuse me. So, and the thing is, he shares those trails with Nancy, and Nancy claims him to be a pro at bushwhacking summits without trails.
We never got lost.
Never got lost.
That's why I'm here tonight.
And I'll let you know, I'm sure half of them were prior to GPS.
Yeah, they were.
Okay, I just like to say, Ken is usually happiest when he's helping someone. Many times he's taken his equipment to help people who are stuck, whose driveways have been snowed in beyond their ability to shovel out, He does it with no expectations or other than being neighborly. The thing is, you can always find Ken in a preferred plaid flannel shirt with the jeans, knit cap, boots. You know he's enjoying the outdoors. Well, we didn't quite believe it, so we did some research today. So we got a 2003 picture of Ken attending a Christmas function with a plaid shirt and his jeans. Nothing has changed. Okay, and the thing is, in addition to enjoying the outdoors of Dunbarton, he's always in the backyard. He's always they say he can grill a mean steak, and he loves coconut cream pie. Hint, hint. Okay, I like to say that Ken is a person who gives 100% to any project or problem or interest he takes up. And he finds a significant amount of time to always give back to our community. So with great, in addition, I just want to go through some of the positions he's had as a volunteer. First of all, he's been the school board vice chair chairman for 2 terms. He's been the planning board chairman and member. Oh, wait a minute, planning board chairman, that was wrong. He was never appointed planning board chairman. He was appointed, we found some more research, he was called the planning czar for Dunbarton. So, we did our research.
That's 25 years old or something.
It's old.
2003.
But he was appointed as the planning czar. All right, he's been on the Historical Awareness Committee. He's been the Dunbarton representative, and he's a member of the Central New Hampshire Regional Planning Commission, and that we have reaped benefits from his position there. Dunbarton definitely has reaped benefits there. He's been the town planner and a building inspector for this town. He's served as health officer. He's been on the Resource Conservation Committee to this day, from 2003 to present. He also helped select our police chief. So he's been, as I say, a jack of all trades in helping this town in multiple positions. Not bad for an engineer. So it's my pleasure, with great appreciation, the selectmen we have chosen you for your many years of service, and we dedicate the 2019, the town report dedication goes to Ken Swayze.
Thank you.
You're gonna get a signed copy from us.
Oh, good.
In other words, not to be used as tinder in your wood stove, please.
I still get one in the mail though, right?
Yes, you do. He's joined by,
You want it?
could you point out all your family members here?
This is my daughter Penny
Penny,
and my sweetie right there.
Another.
Nancy, yes.
Son-in-law.
Son-in-law.
Son-in-law, I didn't see you up there.
Mrs. Hanson?
And that's Simone.
Simone, my granddaughter. And I have some other children in North Carolina. I guess that's why you didn't pay to bring them up.
We tried.
You've seen the planning board budget.
Yeah, I know.
So Ken, we really do, we've sat back and we look at all sorts of candidates, and then historically, we like to pick a town resident who's contributed for many years and over the years, and you fit that bill. It was like, it was not even, no discussion needed because you were there. You've done more than many others do for this town, so thank you.
Thank you.
Come on up, Ken.
Yeah, we're gonna get some pictures and.
Official picture.
Geez, I brought the whole botany file and everything. Con artist. Okay.
You know what I want to
They did.
You can smile at me too. All right, now that way.
Now over this way.
Yeah, we gotta get multiples here. Thank you, guys.
The thing is, I thought the planning czar was just a piece of, that was great, I heard that.
Where did you
Planning
find
czar.
that? In an old scrapbook?
Was that newspaper article?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Union leader or
Lee,
Four
there are
times.
scrapbooks over at the library that collect the town happenings from newspaper. That's the perfect place for that.
Okay, okay. Isn't that great?
Actually, Mary, excuse me, want to carry over?
I still have, I probably still have that shirt, yeah.
You just want to read it over and put it on top of the scrapbook, so I'll get it in there and send it out.
Hey, and Ken, Nancy did tell us you were not just the planning board chair. He wasn't just the chair of any board, he was more than that. And so we found the correct word.
Can I go home?
Thing is, you also be recognized at the town meeting too, just to let you know.
I'll take a picture of that in the town's front.
Yeah, so Nancy, gotta make sure he makes a town meeting too.
Oh, yes.
All right?
Another document signing coming up, I can see.
Nancy, thank you for your help.
Thanks.
How long did she know about this?
I don't know. I know nothing.
We got that on tape, you know.
I know.
Okay, for sure. I don't have to stay.
You're all set,
Nick's
sir.
not coming.
Mr. Botnick's not coming. Thing is, with all due respect to Mr. Botnick for the public, I had to get Ken here. Mr. Botnick has been he's got an ongoing project with us, and there's been some ups and downs, and I'd like to say it's on and up right now. We're making a lot of good progress, for both Dunbarton and Mr. Botnick. But the thing is, I had to get some reason to get that gentleman to come in tonight. So I knew that would be like a magnet to have him come in.
Yeah, it came right away.
So thank you, sir.
Got everything, the file with me and everything. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Congratulations,
I guess so.
Congratulations.
Yeah. The pictures.
Thanks for the invite.
Thank you for coming.
Food must be ready by now, Mary.
It might be. So, my signs are coming. Yeah, and I saw them.
I had to replant them because the snow won't melt.
I'll keep an eye on those from now on. I'll keep an eye on that one, that one, that one on the corner. When it comes time for pickup, just assign.
Thank everyone for showing
You've
up.
all got the
Yes.
list, right?
I glad it down and I stick the sign down, so it's in the ground.
Okay.
It gets real cold, it's a little water.
Okay, I'm gonna bring this meeting back to order, and I'm gonna continue on with the agenda. Chief, you wanna come up and talk? Or you wanna defer it to later on? It's up to you. We'll do general business. Bob, general business, okay, consensus? We'll defer it to talk that later. All right, just for the record, gentlemen, we all get emails that Donna White has been selected for jury duty. There may be some impact to our operating hours. As soon as we get a finalization of what court case she may be appearing in, we'll adjust hours accordingly.
Mike, just for a note, we should make a consensus. I have no problem with Mike filling in for her hours.
Right, but again, he's got his own full-time job, so I'm making a recommendation that they be open to just reduced hours. In other words, same operating schedule as far as the availability during the day, but reduced hours during the day. I'm gonna let them manage it with the town administrator. Bob, do you have any problems with that?
No, only because there's not even any idea whether or not she'll be selected, because they have a whole pool of people there.
Right.
They'll go through that first one, it's gonna be the afternoon. They'll question, some of them might not even get a chance to get talked to, so I guess we can appraise that as we move along.
Yeah, they do overlap duties a lot, so I have no issue with it either.
Okay. All right, next item. I have a request from one of our contractors for reimbursement to obtain his license, and I'm sorry to say, as a subcontractor, he's not really an employee, he's a subcontractor, so he's not really eligible for reimbursement for this lien. That's out of the personal plan directly. Gentlemen, if you have any other comments, I'd like to leave it at that.
I'd just like to send him a note back saying that, it's not part of our personnel policy to do subcontractor.
As a courtesy, I think that'd be very important.
I told him I would give him a call, so I'll let him know.
Okay. This is we've got a report from the building department. This is regarding if you recall, the lot with the issue with some extra vehicles. I got a copy of the letter that was sent out from the code enforcement officer, and it's a work in progress, that's all I'm gonna say. But I asked Mike to make sure he had a copy so he could be informed of what's going on. Okay, so it's a work in progress. And then we have a status report of what's going on in the building, planning and zoning. Again, status report, but no action item needed. And then I got interesting note here on, some of the spam emails. I wanna remind all town employees that, that our computers are not necessarily always safe. This one accuses, one of our town employees of doing nasty things on the computer, and they wanted to basically blackmail us for Bitcoin, and, they wanted $1,900. And they said they had videos of what they were doing, but the problem is, employee has no video cam and set up in the office, so go figure. It was just the big rules to basically abscond with money. And the sad thing is, I understand the chief has alluded that some residents in town have a problem, they do potentially pay some of these, blackmailers. And so, when in doubt, just do not fall victim of this. And, the police department can help in some instances, and, town employees, be aware of what you open up as spam. In fact, I thought the whole threatening, I thought it was kind of threatening, the whole email, it was disgustingly threatening. Okay, just gentlemen, we have a copy of the ballot coming up. Now, we had we had a sign that was located on Bow town property. It was brought to my attention by one of the selectmen, and I wanna make sure that all parties out there, if you're supporting this individual, it can't be on Bow town property, and it can't be on Dunbarton town property. Some of the adjacent roadsides I'm not terribly concerned with, but I'm talking about in front of buildings, in front of the schools, in front of the transfer station, in the transfer station, in front of any of these town buildings here, there should be no political signs. And there's a state law that supports us there on the highways too, and so, just be aware, the Bow basically gives a courtesy, and we reacted appropriately to that, and, all the parties were notified and action was taken. Okay. I've got this one. We have a personal action for human resources certification for.
No, we're not gonna work on that until after we meet with the chief.
Okay, no, this is different.
Yeah, we just completed a course,
Oh,
Okay,
FYI for personnel.
okay. Kudos to one of your officers for completing the course, chief. The thing is, I applaud some members who continue to work on continuing education. And just for the public's note, I kinda made a joke about it last week, but I was serious about the transfer station employees. I was 100% serious. We have part-timers there, we do not pay full-time, we have one full-timer there, the transfer station manager. A lot of people use that as a way station when in between jobs, looking for an interim job, and then we have part-timers who fill those positions. And I'm happy when they secure a position with benefits, higher pay, and I'm happy they move on to something better and they better themselves. However, what that means for the town, as I've learned over the last several years, it's a constant turnover. And so if you're looking for some part-time work and you wanna just, summer's coming up, just let the town know. But the thing is, if we get to a crunch, we just will have to modify the way we transfer some of our trash. I'll leave it at that. But right now, we're not hurting, but the thing is, it's, the writing's on the wall. And when you have a great economy, jobs open up for people and people take advantage of them, and I'm happy they do. Gentlemen, any comments on that?
Nope.
Okay. I can go with another public comment, and then we can have the chief come back up, or how do you wanna do this?
we check with the public since we're down here?
No,
Go
back,
to the chief?
No, we should-
you know,
how are we gonna comment after?
Exactly.
hey, Don, the thing is, I'm missing you on the agenda tonight. Don has historically have had donations for Reeds Across Dunbarton almost every week, and the thing is, it shocks me tonight by not having money to turn in.
But I found a new sponsor for Reese Across Dunbarton.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, thank you. Any back row? Donna, Fred?
Well, I guess I do have something if we are gonna do public comment.
No, he said that we would like to have the chief up here so they can comment.
Oh, yeah,
after the
okay,
chief.
we will, yeah. Go ahead, public comment?
Yeah, I wanted to know if you guys had to shovel your driveway this morning. Because I had to do mine again.
He
Every
did.
time it rains, it all comes down into my driveway, and I've been talking about this for few years now, and, you know, the road is, the drainage is on the opposite side of the road,
Uh-huh,
but the road is graded towards my side. And it just keeps washing out there. And last year he put a load of gravel in there or something because it was
Did the gravel help
there was
at
a
all?
hole right where the mailbox is, you know, because of
Yeah.
that person. But it just keeps running it right into my driveway, and I always have to shovel it out. Last year when I came home from vacation, it was about a foot thick of dirt in my driveway.
And it came down again today, Leo?
Oh yeah. I had to wait till it stopped raining so I could get out there and fix it again.
Was it more of a silt type runoff?
It's everything, rocks, everything.
All right, bring it up with the road agent
I
again.
brought it up to him a couple of times and he said there's nothing much he can do, but I think there is.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna take a look at it and maybe we can get some suggestions for him.
Right. That's what
I'd
I
like to
was
have you
hoping.
out there, and maybe you can
Yeah.
talk to him too.
Right,
Okay.
somebody look at it and maybe point things out that should be done,
Okay.
get it corrected. Okay.
So noted. Take that for an action item.
Good, thank you.
Don, anything else? Back row, anything else? Okay, I'm gonna close public comment, and then Chief, go ahead.
I'm on the back row.
But I was pointing towards you, I'm sorry, sir. Anything for public comment?
Actually, something might help. We have a town engineer, correct? We use one on the planning board for different things that they can assess. You know, it may cost a few bucks, but if road agent says there's nothing that can be done, you always bring a town engineer in there, which is a civil engineer, and actually could probably give you some
Advice.
very credible advice that could be done.
Yeah, that's definitely an option. And the thing is, I think we'll discuss that with the road agent before we make a decision on that, but that can be so noted.
Yeah, because, you know, what happens is, once it gets to the house ahead of me, it crosses the road, it washes the middle of the road, washes my side right out, all the time.
Yeah, because I know it's been going on for quite a while. I remember when I settled here, we brought it up before.
Yeah,
So,
I've
been
been
a while.
shoveling that thing out every time it rains.
It made me feel like it was snow, not dirt.
Well, I wish it was, I could've used my snow blower, but the other part is, then if it freezes at night, and then they come by the next day and, you know, and they plow or something, I can't clear that, it's a chore, because it's all rocks and sand, and
And today it's
Frozen.
freezing, tonight's freezing too, yeah.
I got out there and cleaned it up, you know.
Okay. Again, well, that's a good suggestion to augment the road
But,
agent
yeah,
for his
It
opinion.
is a good suggestion.
Okay. All right. Now, I think I'd like to bring the chief up, if you would. This is a continuation discussion, part-time staffing, as I believe. Okay, I think last time the last time I left off, I left the question with you if there was a needing of a security check for this potential candidate.
Yes.
And you said it's not an issue with them, but we had to go through cross the Ts and dot the Is, but that came back, I understand, with no issues at all.
Yeah, expected, yeah.
Okay, and the other thing was, I thought the board may have been, I wanna speak generally, then I'll let the two gentlemen chime in, but it was to augment a replacement for the officer you were losing, and that's where, I need to clear that
I
up.
think I was pretty clear that that was not it wasn't a replacement for the officer that we may be leaving. It's an opportunity to bring somebody else on who can help us out in some of the community events that we do, maybe fill some shifts now and again. I don't expect this person to work a lot of shifts or details or anything like
And
that.
I do remember that being said, chief,
Yeah.
when you were here, so.
Yeah.
And I knew you weren't trying to fill a part-time position, that you had a vacancy possibly coming forward, so.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't.
And I'm pretty sure, I'm going off memory, but I'm pretty sure we gave approval to go ahead and get that done.
That was when I left here, it was a done deal.
Yeah,
Since
the
starting
issue was from a protocol, procedural standpoint, we didn't vote on it.
Okay.
And the thing is, it should have been done in public, and they were discussing some of the issues, because there were personnel issues in private. We can't make a hiring action in private, and it was not documented that we did a vote on it. Bob, do you have any comments on that?
Well, no, and that's what I remember, is we came out of non-public, and we never voted whether or not to hire the person. There was a consensus that, you know, what you were
Yeah.
planning to do with the person, and you said special events in the town, we figured it wasn't gonna be a lot of time, so we didn't have there was nothing formal done.
No.
We knew there was gonna be a very, cut and dry as far as the background check.
It's a very
You
vanilla,
know,
bland
It would
background.
have been simple, but again, we didn't take that, you know, that's the only thing that caught me off guard, is that we hadn't done anything, and, you know, till we take a vote.
And you should be able to stay within your part-time hours that you budgeted anyway.
The part-time hours is a guideline. If we hire 10 more people, we're still capped by what hours we have. It's a matter of how we divvy it up.
Juggle it
And
around,
there's
yeah.
not a lot of people to divvy it up amongst.
Right. The other question I think some of the members expressed to me was step, what step do you wanna bring them in? Is there a step increase?
For part-time, they're all paid the same.
I think there's a student officer step, and then a field training step, and then there's,
Just full-time, part-timer, that's what it's gonna be paid at.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember you saying that too. In fact, we talked about that.
Then I'm anxious to get this done and get a proposal on the table and get it approved.
Do we have the correct spelling of his name? It's Chris
2 N's and 2 L's, right?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Conway.
CONNELL.
Make the motion.
I'll make a motion that we hire Chris Conley as a part-time town police officer per the recommendation of the chief, to be used as limited duties throughout the town, and to fill some of his part-time hours in his existing budget.
And that would be at the rate of the part-time officer.
Yep.
I'll second your motion.
Okay, for discussion, bring up discussion now. Chief, I just wanna ask, we can swear him in next week then?
I gotta check and see.
Schedule
Whenever
this
he's
in.
available.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can do that as soon as you're ready.
Yeah, I'll have Chris coordinate with Lee,
That's perfect.
if that
Okay.
works for you guys.
So more for the public, Chris Conley was a previous chief to this town, has a huge amount of experience, and the chief and Sergeant Remillard came to us a week ago and spoke about using him for some smaller events within the town, voting and such, and some of the public things that we have going on in the town. And we didn't have an issue with it, but we didn't do the proper vote protocol, so.
And I have to admit, the chief moved, when he got the general consensus from us, he moved out smartly, probably too fast for us. And so, I think it's kudos to him, and it's probably a small oversight on our part, but we gotta do by the book, and that's why we brought and raised it up today.
I was doing my best not to draw out the meeting.
This, you know, and the hours he gets aren't gonna impact any one of your other part-timers, correct? Okay.
Okay, any further discussion?
Nope, I'm good.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, it's official. Okay, gentlemen,
If you wanna open it up to the,
I had public comment to go out of order, I can give one more public comment if you want.
just in case they have.
Any
anything
last
else
comments
to
from the
say.
public? I'd open up one more time, hearing none, going once, twice, no more public comment, thank you.
You're not gonna make your deadline today.
I tell you, I tried, I tried. I get pressure from these two gentlemen, we gotta have regular meetings so we don't get a big agenda.
I have the same thing if you were in this committee meeting. They get it in and out in an hour, and they just keep trying to turn it to 45 to 30, they just keep going down.
I have to admit,
It usually spills over to an hour.
but I have to admit, we've been here sometimes at 9:30, it gets tiring, people stop making, we don't wanna make mistakes, when you get into 9:30, you start running, get tired and mistakes will be made, so it's good to have it all
I
fresh.
can recall meetings going much longer than 9:30.
Yeah.
You know what?
See, if we paid you by the hour, we'd
Tonight,
be here till
it's a
9.
Continuation of your conversations.
Wait, gentlemen, someone give me a motion? No, I need
We're
it.
not done yet.
No, we gotta go to
I know.
the select board.
Yeah, I know. All right, do we have any non-publics tonight?
No.
Okay, then I'm gonna take it back from the public, I'll start with Dave, if you, anything for the public, Dave.
Yep, I just wanted to let you, public know that the rolling gates were complete at the town transfer station. They have huge rollers on them, it's much heavier duty than I thought it was gonna be, and looks like it's gonna work out very nicely. They can open up and access each end of the dumpster, just like Woody had recommended and asked for, and it looks like it's very nice looking, it looks very professional, and
But aside from nice looking, it's gonna afford us the safety that we required. And a young child who's helping his dad throw stuff in is not gonna fall and trip into the dumpster.
we lucked out, nothing's happened all these years, knock on wood, and now we've at least got some protection along the entire concrete wall.
You took all the fun out of it.
Yeah,
I thought the policy was that the kids are supposed to stay in the car, and the gatekeepers of the transfer station are supposed to ensure that.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, I have, because I know, I used to bring my kids, and I made them stay in the car, or the truck. back in the day, because, for that exact reason, so they didn't get out and get hurt.
But even an adult, it can be a child, it can be an adult falling in, that definitely adds a measure of safety. It's,
Not against safety, it's just something I thought we had a policy for that purpose, so. to
I don't
help
recall seeing
mitigate that.
anything written, but that might be something to look into.
If I fell in there, I could probably get out, but I don't think Dave could.
No. He proved that, we dropped the cap.
Tried it the other day.
Like, you better go
check
get that,
with
Leo.
Check with the insurance company, maybe you can get a break on insurance, now you got that fence up there.
No, we've already looked into this.
Yeah, that's a good thing, highlight into something we've had.
Okay, Dave.
The other thing, I've got a couple other things, Lean had reminded me today, we knew that we'd put some things off until after the town meeting, it's the RFP for the library roof correction. And, so we're gonna be working on that shortly,
Yep,
and,
I did get the final draft, I'll look at it and tweak it now that I've got a little bit of downtime to be able to do my own work, I'll squeeze that in and try to get that rolling.
Specifically, it's not the roof, it's the supporting rafters that support the roof.
and the last thing I have that I've written down is, I was wondering if, next week's meeting, we could maybe get the emergency management committee together, along with the selectmen. Just have a general discussion about the virus and how the town might or might not be prepared for it. And just so that we're in advance for anything, I don't think anything's gonna come to our town, but I think if we don't meet on it and talk about it, then,
As long as it's kept, non-political.
yep. How would that be political?
Trashing the president. Okay, I'm being upfront, I don't wanna have the audience come in here, and I don't need to hear that, I don't think we don't need that in Dunbarton.
All right, I will get them in
You
here.
know, I wanna talk about it on a town level.
Fair enough, fair enough, I agree.
We have a committee in place for that, so I
Concur.
think a discussion, quick discussion wouldn't hurt. That's all I have, Mike.
Bob, to you.
Well, I have a question of curiosity. The timber tax, cause they're logging over at Clough State Park.
Mhm.
It's a private company that logs,
Been awarded
they
the,
have been awarded that logging. And I know they're logging both in Ware, and they're logging heavy in Dunbarton too.
Mhm.
I went down to look finally, get behind here, and, so I'm just curious if the town receives any remuneration from the timber tax.
we certainly do.
They do.
They have to, this is the only tax that the town will collect a bond for. So we currently have about $8,000 deposited with the tax collector as a bond. And that's based on the estimated board feet, and they anticipate it'll come in a little higher. So,
wanna
it's
tell you-
approved by the, Army Corps of Engineers, and it's, recorded in,
So
with
who
the
accepted
DRA.
that bond?
They submitted it with, we came up with an estimate through the software that we use with the DRA. And he obviously knew the system, because that's exactly, he was within like $300 higher than what our estimate would have been in the bond.
Cause
on
they're
the
hauling
tax.
all day long, they're 40-foot, one time, they had two 40-foot trailers being towed by one truck.
They,
You know, cause the logs look like they're about 8 feet or a little over long, and there's 5 tiers across that bed. And now they've reduced it to, one truck is about 24 feet, but the majority of the trucks are 40-footers. There's probably 12 loads a day coming out, just from behind my,
yeah, we'll get a hefty timber revenue from that.
Shorter ones,
that's all I have right now.
For your information, the timber
I've
warrants
seen
and the
them.
estimates are public record. If you wanted to look at them and see what it is that they submitted, it's all reviewed by the Army Corps engineer prior to awarding them.
Yeah.
You have to provide insurance and give the
Yeah,
town
they seem
a
to
bond.
use the same logger, but he's just got
This is
different
actually the
trucks all over.
first, well, this is the first time this particular log has been
Is it?
awarded. Because they've been logging for like the last 3 or 4 years, but it's always sections or forest management type
Right.
timber cutting. So I'm not exactly, but what he did report was, for an estimate, it was what he provided us for a bond.
Right, cause they're going up behind all of Everett Dam Road, they're going all the way up to the, John Coulter's,
Mhm.
property.
Oh,
And then they're gonna be logging out by Winslow Road, from what I understand. So, I mean, they're not done yet, you know?
I have one other correlated question on that. When are roads gonna be posted? The roads is starting to get soft, there's a lot of mud starting to start.
That would have to come from the
Road
road agent, he does communicate that to us in
Okay,
advance.
just remind them that it's, the roads are looking like
Yeah.
a little muddy.
It's kinda going back and forth, my company documents it pretty well, I think we have 6 towns so far in the state
They're already
that are
posted.
posted, but they're farther north of here.
Yeah,
I
it would be
think
just
the
opposite.
only problem is, Everett Dam Road's a state road,
Yep,
Manson Road's a state
and
road,
they'd be using
and that's
all
what
the
they're
state roads.
using to get over onto 13.
Yeah, which state roads don't get posted, so
Yeah, but
They can do though.
they
It's up to
can,
the
but they
state
don't
engineer,
seem
though.
to.
But I was just on, when I went to, I saw Guile Hill Road the other day, and just in the afternoon, I'm sorry, the mud was looking like really nasty. And I don't see how many people can get up that road, Guile Hill Road, when it's starting to get soft now.
It's mud season.
Yeah, well, that's good,
Get a running start.
yeah, exactly. Today just helped it a lot.
But it is stiffening back up again this weekend, so it goes back and forth this time of year.
All right. I have nothing else, I'm gonna go to town administrator.
I just have the one question, how long would you like me to put that RFP out? Do we wanna do like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we still
I
have
would
time?
say that we should at least do 3.
3 to 4. I'd say I was going,
I'd let it go a month.
Yeah,
A month?
Okay,
Yeah.
then we redress it.
Okay.
This is, what we're talking about, RFP,
request for pricing.
yeah, regarding the item.
It's the, library attic retrofit that
Yep.
we're trying to, that Jeff Trexler was nice enough to engineer, design, provide plans for the contractor to review and use. And then he actually gave us a template, used our template and implemented the language that we needed so that we didn't miss anything for the, request for proposal, so.
And the thing is, just ask Jeff as a follow-up to that, he said he was gonna have, once the, during the process, he's gonna have an engineering meeting with the potential bidders,
Site review.
site review.
It's actually on that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we got a date, time group with it?
Yeah,
Is that
I'll
all?
coordinate the due time with Jeff Trexler.
Okay, I just wanna make sure we have it's in the window for that bidding. Okay. To you, Lean, again?
That's all I have.
Okay, speaking of bids, we have got no bids on the town truck, it's posted on Hot Topics. We're selling the old transfer station truck. Make your bid, it's hot, get it while it's hot. Thing is, what we'll probably do is readdress that probably next week.
Closing bid is for 3 o'clock on March 5th, which is next Thursday, so I'll bring it up for
3
next
p.m.
Thursday.
The other thing is elections, please let Woody and crew know that elections coming, let them know the date, time group for setup will be 4 o'clock the day before, that Tuesday. And then in the evening, following 7 p.m. It worked out well last time, for him to coordinate with the town clerk to pick up the materials ahead of time.
You may wanna put that steel out to bid, then you wouldn't have to handle it.
Hey, someone may take you out, would take us up on that too. Okay, I think we're all set, I'm taking a motion.
Motion to adjourn at 7:37.
Second.